Series 3 will be three-minute rounds in the Bantamweight division and is being brought to you by Zen Garden Wellness. Formally introducing the 3 men in the cage, starting with your blue corner. He comes to us today wearing gray shorts trimmed in blue, yellow, and red. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, official weight 135 pounds. He is an orthodox fighter representing American Kickboxing Academy and Team Diamond. He brings an undefeated record to the cage with 3 wins and 0 losses. One of those wins by way of KO, and fighting out of San Jose, California. Please welcome Arsir the Tiger Vargas. His opponent across the cage fighting out of the red corner. He comes to us today wearing red shorts trimmed in blue and orange. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, official weight 135.6 pounds. He's an orthodox fighter representing Team Alpha Male. He brings an undefeated record to the cage with 2 wins and 0 losses. One of those wins by way of submission, the other win by way of KO, and fighting out of Sacramento, California, by way of Uruguay, Armenia. Please welcome Hakob the fearless Stepanyan. Your third man in the cage, Mr. Mark Brandon.
In the blue corner, we have the technical point karate style fighting in the striking department, and in the red corner, we have the self-described awkward, unorthodox long-range boxer in our first striker versus striker match of the night.
Yeah, you can just see the speed from Vargas. Super fast. So fast with the way that he blitzes in, as so many of those traditional martial artists are, especially from that Kempo style that he comes from. Covers ground impressively fast. Nice little Olay there. Good use of angles, good foot movement.
And speaking of angles, that was actually something that Vargas touched on he wants to utilize in this fight.
I'm always so impressed with the distance management of the karate guys, you know. He's never too close, never too far. He's right where he needs to be until he just flashes.
And that's that speed of that Kempo karate that we touched on. Ooh. Swinging with some heat was Vargas. And I find it kind of interesting, Blake, you know, Hakob Stepanyan clearly with the range. Do you not think perhaps it would benefit him to maybe utilize that jab a little bit more? He talked about the boxing.
Yeah, absolutely. I like how you pointed that out. You know, utilizing that jab, and I do like one thing, how he's exiting with that leg kick, because Arsir Vargas,
that was
so
a
fast.
huge clash. And I love that Vargas is in and out. He lands his damage, he's immediately out of danger, and that's making it hard for Stepanyan to implement that close-range boxing that he spoke on. But those leg kicks are ruthless.
100%. I would say that's absolutely needs to be a big part of the game plan moving forward from Stepanyan, is that game plan, because Vargas does move in and out incredibly fast, so you got to utilize as he exits, you know, by chopping that leg, eating that leg up when he exits.
Stepanyan needs to be careful. Those leg kicks are brutal, and they are landing with success. But Vargas is starting to get a read on that because he's not setting them up with his hands, and he is also not throwing any follow-up strikes off of those. He's throwing them naked, he's throwing them individual, and I'd love to see him throw a little bit, you know, a little bit more combinations.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe flashing the hands beforehand, setting it up with something.
And Stepanyan talked about how he has that longer range, and a lot of people struggle and find him a very awkward fighter. And I think that the answer to that for Vargas thus far has actually been that in and out movement. He finds himself in range, he's immediately out of it, and he's not playing at Stepanyan's range when he is out of range. He's all the way out or he's in. He's not playing that middle ground where Stepanyan can really implement his reach advantage.
$10,000 in prizes.
Yeah, great first round. As all these fights have been super exciting from the start. But that was a very technical first round. It's super evident to see the game plans that both these guys are trying to get to, you know. Vargas with that in and out classic karate style movement with the blitzing in, with the quick hands, quick feet, snappy kicks. And then Stepanyan with that lanky boxing, chopping the leg out as he exits.
Confidence definitely growing for Stepanyan as he starts throwing his flashy kicks towards the end. We saw some spinning wheel kicks. Here we see that leg kick that he was utilizing. You know, but Vargas landed with some heavy blows. And that's that range that he's really taking advantage of that you touched on, Blake.
Arsir Vargas juicing up the crowd a little bit. I love it.
Well, at just 2-0 and 3-0, these two fighters are gracing you with an incredibly high-level striking matchup right here.
Nice jab from Vargas.
Yeah, it was a beautiful jab, and we're seeing that spinning heel kick of his own.
He said, you got flashy, I got flashy too.
Well, with that karate style, you got to think he's got some tools in his arsenal.
Oh, spinning another one from Stepanyan.
I know a lot of people talk about this, Blake, when a fighter kind of reacts to the shot, like eggs them on or says, oh, that didn't hurt. A lot of times it means that it really did. So what are you thinking on Hakob Stepanyan's reaction to those leg kicks? Do you think that that maybe caused a little bit more damage and perhaps
probably
the reason for the
bet.
stance switch?
Absolutely, I would say it's a safe bet. Usually a lot of times when people stick the tongue out or react as if something didn't hurt, a lot of times it's the opposite. Man, this is a fun striking matchup to watch.
Definitely. Hakob Stepanyan starting to press forward against Vargas, perhaps looking to start opening up those grappling opportunities that you discussed mixing in. But ironically, despite having the reach advantage, he seems to be having the trouble with the range a little bit on Vargas, and likely due to the footwork that you mentioned in the previous round.
Ooh, big right hand from Vargas. Nice, see, flashing those hands now. That leg kick's open. He's not throwing it naked anymore.
Yeah, definitely. You got to think that's an adjustment from his corner team. You know, Alex Sandoval finds himself in the corner yet again. We've talked about it before. High-level UFC veteran. And Josiah Sandoval, Team Alpha Male striking coach. You got to think that they told him to stop throwing those naked kicks. And that's allowing him to start walking down Vargas and actually land some shots of his own.
Man, talk about a chess match of a striking fight right now.
I love the accuracy, speed, and movement of Vargas. I just like to see him put his combinations together, a little bit more volume, because when we're talking in the eyes of the judges, Hakob Stepanyan is walking him down. He is more active. He's now mixing in his grappling, and this doesn't reflect too well in the eyes of the judges, because the judges' criteria, if you've ever read it, is actually who is trying to finish the fight.
Yeah,
and sticking a move in doesn't always reflect trying to finish the fight.
Yeah, that's a great point, Corey. Because a lot of times, you know, the karate guys have that impressive speed and blitzing in with the strikes. However, a lot of times they tend to be counter fighters. And against someone that really layers on the combinations like Stepanyan, it can lead to issues sometimes for the karate guys. So it's a good matchup. But
heavy overhand from Vargas, though. I just like to see him follow up on that. Like when he lands a powerful strike, Hakob Stepanyan actually stops for a second, if you notice. And I would just love to see Vargas take that opportunity to apply the pressure. I love the in and out. I love that he's not really getting hit on the counter too much because of his karate style. But just due to body language and cage control, I think he is maybe going to kick himself on a volume standpoint, looking back on this fight.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree with that, Corey. But yeah, overall, great fight so far. Very exciting. Just truly a classic kickboxing match right now. And as a fan, I love to see it, you know. Great matchup. A very technical kickboxing matchup at that.
Well, so far it's been an easy night for our judges. I don't think they've even had to touch their scorecards more than once. But yeah, beautiful display of striking from both of these fighters as we enter into our third round. Hakob Stepanyan immediately coming out and controlling the center, much like we saw in the last round. But definitely some more volume in the first 20 seconds of this round from Vargas. You got to think, Blake, did his coaches light a little fire under him coming out to this third and what has been a pretty close fight thus far?
Yeah, that absolutely appears to be the case because he's really letting his hands go specifically now, which I like to see. You know, not just one kick, not just two kicks, but letting the hands go behind the kicks or leading up to the kicks because he's got super fast hands. I just like to see him let him go just a little more.
Ooh, powerful lead hook from Vargas. And again, doesn't follow up on it. Well, he said that he likes to hit and not get hit. He's got that very Kempo karate style in and out, and he's doing a beautiful job of it.
Oh! Big lead hook.
And then we do Blake, give me your opinion on that. He just dropped Hakob Stepanyan, and he steps back to the center and allows him to recoup and come forward. I mean, maybe I'll eat my words in a second if he sits him back down, but I would have liked to see a little bit of hunger from Vargas to get that finish.
Yeah, you know, as a fan, I love it. As a coach, maybe a different opinion I'd have. But nonetheless, we are all winning watching it tonight.
Well, Stepanyan definitely seeming to get his wits back about him as he marches forward.
There we go. He's letting the hands go now. That's what I like to see from Vargas.
You can see in the face of Vargas that he is very focused, and I think he definitely knows the task at hand in looking for that finish to secure the fight. You know, as we mentioned, a very close first couple of rounds. You know, I'm watching the comments. People have it going either way a little bit. So you got to think that both of these guys are going to look to come out and put a stamp on this last 45 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's anyone's fight at this point.
Well, we talked about the judges having an easy night, but this is not an easy fight for them when it comes to scoring. Beautiful display of striking in action right here.
Little showboating from Vargas now. Oh, that lead hook is nasty. That lead hook as he blitzes in. That's twice he's caught Stepanyan clean on the chin this round, once putting him down. That second one, I don't know how he didn't get put down.
Well, there's so much action going on right now that it's all kind of blending into one for me, Blake. There's a little bit of showboating going on in the last 5 seconds. I would argue, and you can correct me if you have a differing opinion, I think that round was Vargas's. I think the round before was Stepanyan, and I think that it comes down to the first. I will definitely be going back to watch this fight, but definitely an incredibly close 3 rounds. I don't envy the judges right now.
Yeah, not at all. Very, very, very close fight, exactly as you pointed out. If I had to decide right now, personally, I think Vargas pulled it out there. But great fight from both guys nonetheless. I wouldn't be mad with the decision either way, but personally, I saw it for Vargas.
Everybody loves a little bit of showmanship. I'm not 100% sure that was the most appropriate time from Vargas. I do think that the knockdown and him just being more offensive and aggressive in that round did secure him that 3rd round. But I'm going to take my bet on Hakob Stepanyan 2-1.
Absolutely. Hey.
And Blake's about to walk us through a replay of what was a phenomenal, high-level striking match, despite being just an amateur fight.
Yeah, both these guys coming with all different facets of attacks. You know, we got spinning attacks, forward attacks, backward attacks, leg kicks, high kicks, body kicks, you name it. Nasty combinations on the hands, standing guys back up after knocking them down, waving the crowd in. Awesome, awesome matchup. Big lead hooks from Vargas in that third round, clean on the chin of Stepanyan. Great fight from both guys. Would not be disappointed with a decision either way.
Yeah, phenomenal performance from both of these athletes, and both had their shining moments. This is one of those fights like we talk about. We don't really want to see a loser here almost. We are just awaiting the judges' scorecards, and I don't think you could be surprised that it is taking a minute for them to come to their conclusion. And just like that, we're ready to send it to Derek for the official decision of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds in the Bantamweight division, this fight has gone to the judges' scorecards. Judge number 1 scores the fight 30-27. Judge number 2 scores the fight 30-27. And judge number 3 scores the fight 29-28 for your winner by way of unanimous decision, and fighting out of the blue corner, Arsir the Tiger Vargas.
Well, as close a fight as